Park on their home court. This was earlier today as they came through the tunnel. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us on 2K Sports. NBA action is coming up. And on tap tonight, it's the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Washington Wizards here in Capital One Arena. I'm Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Richard Jefferson alongside. David Aldridge is with us from the floor tonight. And here's what the Cavaliers' schedule looks like. On Wednesday, they'll be taking on Jonas Valanciunas and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then on Saturday, they'll take on John Wall and the Detroit Pistons.
And you know, for that Pistons game, there aren't many other meetings that are as evenly matched as this one. Both teams can give and take punches, and this one.
Hachimura out there with Evan Mobley. Then it's Bridges. Then it's Donovan Mitchell. And it's Jerome in at the point guard. And for the Wizards, Clint Capella is out there with Avdia. Then it's Johnson. Then it's Paul George. And it's Nembhard in at the two guard. George against Bridges. And George kicks to Johnson. Just 5 on the clock. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Now we have a chance to pay homage to the Eastern Conference Player of the Week, Donovan Mitchell.
Well, he's been an absolute magician when the ball has been in his hands. There isn't any aspect of the offense that he hasn't contributed in, and it's been a pleasure to watch. I mean, unless you are an opposing coach, then his play has been a vivid nightmare.
From past the arc, knocks down the three ball.
All right, so a few things here. I'm a little confused / kind of disappointed that the Magic and the Pistons basically have the same record. It's a little weird. It's a little weird seeing the Magic just have to like turn it around. I mean, they have a lot of time. It's still January. There's still time, and there's, you know, the trade deadline is still coming up. And honestly, I'm a little actually disappointed just specifically in the Pistons, just because I thought this would be their somewhat contending year, at least be in the running to make the play-in game. You know, having Brandon Ingram, Cade Cunningham, and the rest of the supporting cast, you know, Ivy, you would just think, like, I don't know, you guys might have enough talent, especially with Brandon Ingram starting at the 3. But I don't know, bro. I don't know. And right now we're facing the new look Cavaliers. No Darius Garland on the team. He's on the Nets right now. I don't know how I just passed it like that, but I don't know. As long as we get 2 points from that, I don't know. Anyway, so just right now, they have Ty Jerome starting, but I guess they'll figure it out a little bit more. You know what I mean? I'm not really sure. You feel me? Like, it just seems, it doesn't seem too incomplete because you have Bridges, but Bridges is gonna have to really step up into his potential. You know what I mean? Like him and Donovan Mitchell are really gonna have to like really take over, and they have somewhat of a complementary, you know, combination going on with Donovan Mitchell being, you know, a smaller guard, kind of 2/1. He may even play the 1 at some point. But to have Evan Mobley and then Mikal, who's like defense, can shoot threes, shoot mid-range, go to the rack. He just has to like really step it up some more and really just trust himself a little bit more. And then Donovan Mitchell's going to be doing his usual, you know, killing 40 points. Man just scored 70. last year. So, or the year before that, excuse me, because this is, the year after. Anyway, but yeah, man, like, the Cavs have a pretty good team right now. Rui Hachimura, all that stuff. They just got to put it all together. Meanwhile, we haven't made any trades, and we're still basically at the top of the league.
From the moment.
Welcome, everybody. The Washington Wizards in our featured matchup, and what a competitive half it's been.
The effort we've seen from the bench so far, it really helps to keep this kind of depth. Guys who can come in on the offensive end and they don't miss a beat.
Makes things a little easier on the starters, but in the second half, they're going to have to bring it as well.
Let's turn our attention to the dunk contest and see who's competing for a spot this year.
You can tell this selection process is going to be a little bit heated.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. Evan Mobley has been sensational.
Well, with a double-double in hand through 2 quarters, you can just imagine what his stat line will look like at the end of this one.
But I don't think that that's the most important thing to him. Sure, putting up big numbers doesn't hurt, but he's all about
setting the pick here for Johnson. Over to the left wing. Can they get it? Jackson misses. Got it off in time. He can't get it to go. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Cavaliers lead by 19. We'll be back shortly, live from Washington. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this way?
We talk a lot about playing for one another.
LeVert against George. Shoots over LeVert. George, no good. And so LeVert will bring it up for the Cavaliers. 19-point lead, which is the largest margin in the game. Outside, Simmons. From the arc. And it's LeVert missing. The Wizards shooting well. They're at 45%. Johnson attacking. And then Johnson with the jam.
And watch out, you don't.
So I fully expect the Cavaliers to like gel after the Darius Garland trade. And the weirdest part is they did. And now I'm sad. I didn't want that to happen against us. Do that against other teams, not us, bruh. I don't want to take the L, and I feel like we're about to take this L. Paul George has had enough downtime, bro. The whole last week was his downtime. So he needs to like really step up this week. We have a full slate of games. It is January. It is the second busiest month of the season. The first busiest is March. The second, I believe, is January, and I believe the third is November. All the rest of them, you know, the Christmas slate for December, you know, you don't really have too much for that. And February's All-Star game, not really too much going on there. April is only like 2 weeks into it. October is only like the end of October. So, yeah, it really is January, March, and then November. So, we have plenty of games, but at the same time, we have to step up in these games. We can't just play these games and take L's, bro.
For 3. He's off on that one. So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in.
21, 10, and 7, bruh. Almost had a triple-double out here, but I had to because where's Paul George? 32 minutes, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 for 10. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. If you had more, we would have, probably been more contending. 27, 18 for Mobley, 26 for Mitchell. Bridges, he still has to, get into it, but it is what it is.
Hi, Grant Hill, Steve Smith, and Allie LaForce. I'm Brian Anderson. And as teams are grinding through their schedules, let's see how it's going out east. You take a look at the Wizards, sitting pretty at this point of the season, second place and looking to move to first. And of course there's Toronto, 5 spots from the top.
Well, for the Wizards, many of us experts earmarked them as favorites this season. And you know what? They have not disappointed thus far.
They're just getting warmed up. As good as they've been so far, they've got the potential and the talent to get even better as we get deeper into this season.
And now the Washington Wizards starters. We've got Denny Avdia. He's out there with Paul George. Clint Capella out there with Johnson. And it's Nembhard in at the shooting guard position. And for Toronto, we've got Kelly Oubre. Dick is out there with everyone, including broadcasters. You got a favorite NBA city?
Hey, BA, you are spot on, especially when it comes to us broadcasters. But a favorite NBA city? I've always liked Atlanta.
Now here's Oubre. Turned in an outstanding game against Memphis. Stolen by Quickly. Puts one up from 19. Rebounded by Johnson. And Washington with possession. Picked it out of midair. Here comes Toronto on the push. And the fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
An aggressive move to a strong finish.
He is just unwilling to settle.
All right, so if y'all know me, y'all know what I'm going to say. First and foremost, shout out to my guy, Grady Dick. You feel me?
Now here's Johnson.
Best sport in the league right now. Like, man, I really wish I could do a jersey swap in this one. Because Johnson Dick is coming. Dick Johnson is coming, bro. Dick Johnson is coming. Real shit. But nah, yeah. Free Dick, bro. Last, I think it was like earlier this season. I can't remember, bro. Shit, time is like passing by so crazy right now. I don't know whether it was last year or earlier in the season. Grady Dick wasn't necessarily getting that much playing time, if any at all, and then somebody got injured, and he ended up getting, you know what I'm saying? So that's where free Dick comes from. You feel me? Like, free my guy. But anyway, we're doing pretty good in Toronto. Hopefully we can just close this game out, not trying to take 2 L's in a row, bro.
Oh, got it off in time, but it's no good. It's all tied in Toronto. And we'll bring you the start of quarter number 2 when we return. 29.
Rhythm. It's been way off. The goal now might be to get him something easy at the rim so he can just see the ball go in through the net, and that helps.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Well, R.J. Barrett, the 3rd overall pick in the 2019 draft, still a long way away from his prime. He said, quote, people think you should make this huge leap out of nowhere, and it's like if you just add 1 or 2 things to your game and just get better every year, steadily go, whether it comes.
So on the outside looking in, when you just look at the rosters, just on paper or whatever, it feels like the Raptors are a tanking team. You can just kind of see like the reset in the roster, kind of. You know what I mean? But when you actually play them and/or when you actually look at their record, you realize they're not like championship contenders, but they're sort of a lock to go to the playoffs. Minimum. Playing minimum.
Here's Dick.
It's just so weird because I'm just not used to a functional Raptors roster without an actual superstar on the team. Like, there's no DeRozan, there's no Kawhi Leonard. Even to take it all the way the fuck back, there's no Chris Bosh or Vince Carter. I'm just over here shitting on him.
By 16. All right, Allie's ready to go. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
Thanks, guys. Clint, an outstanding first half for this team at the defensive end of the floor. What was the key?
Just be consistent. Defensive rebounding was one of our keys tonight, and it's just the start. So we're going to try to stay locked in on it. We know this is our key in our transition to make a stop here and run. So we're just going to keep going.
Back to you guys.
Thanks.
Welcome, everybody. We'll get things going with a look at who might be participating in the upcoming three-point contest.
Every one of these guys can put on a clinic shooting the ball. In this year's three-point contest, I predict the plethora of perfect racks. Ooh.
Nice alliteration there, Dr. O'Neill. And as for our matchup, what a tremendous first half it was for the Washington Wizards.
Well, I mean, it's easy to see why they're up big. They know how to use their size, their athleticism to wear their opponent down. And you look at their rebounding numbers, it's incredible.
Showing a lot of this and this.
Ooh.
And another one.
Whoa, you've been
and
working
two
out.
biceps at once.
Wow.
I'm tired.
Barnes passes to Quickly. And out of bounds, the Wizards will take it. And with a break here, let's look at the best free throw shooters in this year's rookie class. And the Wizards making a change here. Jones. And it's Porter with the ball for the Raptors.
Yo, the three-point contest shit, I swear there's a new name every single time I see that list. There's like a new 2 to 3 names. I don't know if it's due to injury. I don't know if it's due to a lower three-point percentage through the week and somebody gets a higher one. I'm not really sure what it is. Also, I low-key have been kind of like, not, I don't know, there's been issues sometimes, more times than not actually, when I'm finishing a hoop, whether it be somebody tipping it, somebody in the way, getting fouled, or I'm pressing the button too early. I don't know, bro. But there's a lot of variables when it comes to me finishing alley-oops, and I'm trying to figure out why, bro. Like, why is it so hard to finish oops all of a sudden? Not just all the time, just all of a sudden. Like, for the past month, I have been struggling to finish oops, and it's just been a wide amount of reasons, and I have no idea. Oh my God!
So we see the Wizards taking the W here. They have to feel good about this performance. It's one they can be proud of.
Very true. I mean, when you're out on the road, the wins can feel a little sweeter. This one has to feel extra special.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. So for Grant Hill, Allie LaForce, and Steve Smith, I'm Brian Anderson, thanking everyone for watching tonight's game. Now our New Balance Player of the Game.
Kelly Oubre tried to murder us, but it's just not that easy, folk. Not that easy. All right, so Tyus Jones, 32-4, but he had 4 turnovers. You got to see it. 25, 7, and 6. I'm really getting into this rebound assist thing, guys. This is really, really happening. Scotty Barnes with the leading score. Isaiah Quickly. I got to stop calling him poor man's Tyrese Maxey, man.
The setting is Washington, D.C. and Capital One Arena. The Spurs taking on the Wizards. For the San Antonio Spurs, losing 7 out of their last 10 games has left a bad taste in their mouths. But tonight represents a new beginning, and they want to taste victory once again. Wizards, Spurs, the NBA. Our show is the NBA. Hey, thanks for joining us on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and a pair of Hall of Famers with us, Doris Burke and David Aldridge. A moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Klay Thompson.
And maybe it's shocking, maybe not too shocking, but the scoring trend over the last few years has been going down a bit. I'm sure it's something he's well aware of, and we'll see if that continues to be the case.
And the starting group for the Spurs. Wembanyama is the center with Sohan next to him. Vassell in the wing along with Johnson. And it's Shepard in at the point guard position. And for Washington, Bagley is out there with Clint Capella. Then it's Johnson. Then it's George. And it's Nembhard in at the 2. We'll have to keep our eyes on the center matchup, Greg, in this one. These two bigs bring so much to their respective teams.
Yeah, and remember when Pete makes his living off scoring close in against that good D.
Now, here's Vassell. He's guarded closely, 8 feet away. Wembanyama gets the bucket. Wembanyama's got his second bucket.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
He's a guy who, if he gets hot, he can carry your offense for long stretches. I'm sure he's kicking himself. He hates to blow that kind of opportunity.
Sohan, the pass to Shepard. Here's Sohan. Wembanyama, right side. Count the basket. Wembanyama.
Actually, that was mad disrespectful what I just said. I said Isaiah Quickly. His name is Emmanuel Quickly. My bad, bro. My bad. I'm just saying. Kind of have to make a name for yourself a little bit more. You feel me? All right, so Victor Wembanyama gets rebounds, goes all the way down the court, does not give a fuck. We're putting Clint Capella on him for the most part, but dude, you feel me? Like, this is still Victor Wembanyama. He's still the main guy, so to speak. Also, they've been ranting and raving in real life about Reed Shepard, but as you can see, I think my boy is starting. Not starting for long, not, a permanent thing. They still have Trey Jones, who's starting at point. So Trey versus Tyus, gotta love that matchup. At the same time, Reed Shepard, the rookie, is getting better and better as time is going on, and it's gonna get real crazy, bruh. I affectionately call this instant replay right here the Giant Killer, even though that is a badge. That is a badge, y'all. Hit Reed Shepard with the Could have done the Jamal Crawford, but I wanted to keep it real simple. Don't want to give too much time to Wemby.
Since the start of the second quarter. George sends a screen for Johnson. He feeds it to George. Outside, Jones, just 5 to shoot. And the foul called on Victor Wembanyama. That'll be his second foul of the game.
2 fouls already on him. That is not the way to get your minutes per game up.
On defense, San Antonio. They trail by 1. Back to Jones. George with a screen on Wagner. Clock at 4. Jones for 3.
I tell you what, he has gone stone cold here to start this quarter.
It's stolen by Johnson. And here we go. Washington fast break. And the dunk by Capella.
And the long arms of Capella, using them to perfection as a target for his teammates on that alley-oop.
So the Spurs are kind of real. When I say that, I mean, it's a close game right now. We're at the top of the league, therefore, they got to be a pretty good team. You know, they're not necessarily at the top of the West. They're not beating out the Thunder. They're not, beating out the T-Wolves. But there's definitely some potential here. I'm not really sure if they're even going to make the playoffs by the end of the season. But, I mean, y'all have Klay Thompson from the trade, right? The Warriors traded Klay Thompson to the Spurs. They drafted Reed Shepherd. They got Wemby. They signed Christian Wood in the offseason. They still got Sochan, whatever his name is. He's definitely not playing point. Still got Trey. I don't know, bro. This is like a pretty solid team. This is a pretty solid team. So, for them to make the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised. And if they didn't make the playoffs, I still wouldn't necessarily be surprised. But it's always the potential, right? So, if they don't do shit this year, next year, bro, next year, Wemby almost made that too. That's kind of nuts. He really just ISO'd him in the wing. But next year, they do like one more good old upgrade. We're going to have to watch out for them. No cap. Let's go.
And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. It's the Wizards up by 4. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Coach, you had control of this game. How did it get away?
Well, we started the game exhibiting championship-level passing. It's what we're preaching, and we got a lot of good looks, got an early lead. We didn't pay attention to their strength. That's how they got back in the game.
We'll see if you can get back on top of things. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
And with All-Star Weekend approaching quickly, here's an update on how the dunk contest contenders are shaping up.
A lot of talented, creative guys in this group. I hope ultimately a cross-section is chosen, not just different sizes and position, but very different styles.
Variety is the spice of life type thing. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
As we shift our focus now to the Spurs, it's a tight one after 2 quarters of play.
I'd like to see more toughness from them defensively, be the aggressor, throw their weight around. Maybe I should suit up and help out.
You might have to stretch a little bit, fella. You know what? I don't want you out there pulling hammies and all of that stuff. You still got to come back to the studio.
This is the 3. And so it's Washington who's straight by with the win. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, just effective in terms of coming away with this win.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where's your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together. And we can just stick to that, keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. As we leave you with our New Balance Player of the Game, the Cobra.
Needless to say, we didn't have anyone that could stop Wemby. He just kind of did whatever the fuck he wanted to. 39 points. This man almost dropped 40. And they have Franz Wagner, too. Or Franz Wagner. That's how you say his name. Anyway, 19, 6, and 7. I'm really filling out the stat sheet, bro. Paul George decided to step up just a little bit more. I was actually injured during the game, but I'm back.
Welcome to Sunday night NBA action here on 2K Sports. In this game, we'll see the Washington Wizards going up against the Utah Jazz. Hi, folks. This is Brian Anderson. I'm with Grant Hill and Brent Barry. Our reporter tonight, Allie LaForce. Now that we're into the new year, how about a check on the Eastern Conference standings? You take a look at the Wizards, sitting pretty at this point of the season, second place and looking to move to first.
Seeing where the Wizards are, you have to really give it to them. I mean, they are backing up all the preseason hype. They've been outstanding early.
And don't count on that coming to an end anytime soon. The talent level of this squad is off the charts. And with the momentum they're gathering here early in the year, they could steamroll through the season.
So here are the Jazz starting five. Murray out there with Colin Sexton. Then there's Johnson.
All into that kind of rhythm, that's a disaster for the defense. They got to be better.
Here's Nembhard. He picked up 15 in their last win against San Antonio.
He didn't make it all about himself. His passing was sharp, and he kept everyone involved.
And the call is going to be, yes, an illegal screen.
You can get away with one once in a while, but it looked like he wasn't completely set on that pick.
Yeah, a quick little lean like that is going to get the ref's attention. Foul call.
Now here's Kessler. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. Here's Murray. Can't get the go-ahead bucket. For Washington, they've gone 4 of 9 in this one so far. Grant, you grew up here in Washington, D.C. What's the hoop scene like here?
Well, B.A., they love the game of basketball here, and the fans are unbelievable. So many stars from here.
So we're getting into Jazz lore? Is that what's going on? Nah, they're actually pretty solid. They're a pretty solid team. They don't have the original from last year, obviously. They have DeJounte Murray from the Hawks because they traded for Lauri Markkanen. Yep. And the Hawks actually kind of have a little bit of a squad, even though they have to overcome some losing culture type things a little bit. I mean, they have Lauri Markkanen. They have Bradley Beal now. They got rid of Capella. And, they got Okongwu. They're not exactly a lock for the playoffs, but they're no slouch. You can't sleep on the Hawks if they're completely healthy. That's where, you got to put the asterisk there because they have to be completely healthy in order to be somewhat of a contending team. As far as the Jazz, they just have a lot of, I don't know how to explain it, just skill. I guess that's how you put it. With Colin Sexton, Murray, Jalen Johnson, Walker Kessler, he's pretty much, I don't know what he is, but at the same time, Keontae George, they just have a lot of people who can do a lot of things, basically, other than Walker Kessler, of course. But if he starts shooting threes like Brook Lopez, then the Jazz will be looking pretty dangerous. Also, side note, I don't like the rebrand that the Jazz did with this yellow and this white and, the yellow and black. I don't know. I think it looks stupid compared to all the Jazz jerseys that I've seen between, the Carmelo and John Stockton with the mountains on it, between the Darren Williams light blue and dark blue Grizzlies looking Jazz, between the Donovan Mitchell with the fire jerseys, literally the red, orange, and black, set them on fire jerseys, all the way to this where it's this simple ass yellow, black, and white bullshit. I don't like it, bro. I don't like it at all. It doesn't represent, honestly, New Orleans represents Jazz, and they were New Orleans, but since they're in Utah, they definitely could have just rebranded. I don't like the fact that Jazz is represented in Utah. Come on, bro. Just rebrand the team. Make it I don't know. What the fuck is in Utah, bro? I don't even know what the fuck is in Utah. You had the Denver Nuggets, but Utah's I don't know. I guess keep the Jazz. They ain't shit in Utah.
And so it's Washington now holding a 12-point lead at quarter's end. They're getting quality looks, and that's why they're shooting at such a high clip. All right, we'll get back to the action after this break. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today coming from an unlikely position. It's the big fella with the sweetest pass of the day.
You know, anytime a guy is in the post and the teammates know he's unselfish, great.
10 points coming off assist.
Here's Johnson. Second chance effort. And Capella with the lay-in.
Capella, one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. It's because of his activity.
Pass to Sexton. Washington with a rebound. Earlier in the game, they led by 19. Outside Johnson. The shot from the low post is good. Johnson's got Sexton.
I always like to finish the week with at least a winning record. So from the looks of this, it looks like we're going to finish this thing 3-1. I feel like it. Ooh, hold up, hit that. Ah!
So it's Washington easily grabbing this one, showing that they're the far superior team. They win it going away.
I'll tell you what, give it up for their fans. They love to watch this team dominate. You best believe they're all going home happy tonight.
Well, now a minute to check in with Allie LaForce. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
Paul, what a great team effort defensively. What were the points of emphasis?
You know, we do a great job of helping one another and being in gaps. And, you know, if we're going to get beat, it's going to have to be, you know, beaten by contested shots and the ball being swung. You know, so that's what we have to do. We have to sit down, guard guys, and, you know, make them play on the offensive end as a team.
Defense certainly has to be a full team effort, and it paid off tonight. Thanks, Paul.
Allie, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Allie LaForce, Grant Hill, and Brent Barry, this is Brian Anderson thanking you for watching tonight's game. Now it's time for the New Balance Player of the Game, Tyus Jones.
Forget what the Jazz did. This is all you need to see right here. Paul George with 20 plus, Tyus Jones 19 and 11, Avija 11 points, Capella 9 and 12, me 24-5. I shouldn't have 0 assists, but it is what it is. I've been doing that shit all week. Y'all make the assists. You pass the ball, Tyus. Fuck.